last couple years have taught us anything at all, it's that we have to celebrate what we can, when we can, and that we have to stand up and do what we can, whenever we can.
My Impact Fund existence was largely existing in a series of Hollywood Squares meetings, and yet it was still so fulfilling for me. So this opportunity now to be in a room with good people doing great work and getting that energy and that vibe makes it so much more worthwhile.
Okay, welcome everyone here and on our simulcast on YouTube to this wonderful occasion, marking the Impact Fund's 30th anniversary. I can't believe it. As you've heard, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, and I want to take a moment to acknowledge our founder, Brad Seligman, who is here tonight.
One thing that stands out is that over the last 30 years, the Impact Fund has been able to donate $8 million to over 700 different causes focused on economic, environmental, racial, and social justice.
So we heard about it. We reached out to that community to see how we could help. And that community responded. We communicated with them. They tried to resolve the issue on their own, but when they couldn't, we brought a lawsuit under the Clean Water Act. And just a year later, the corporation admitted its illegal pollutants and illegal pollution, and that factory was shut down. But most importantly, the success of our lawsuit in the Big Island Dairy litigation was because of the Impact Fund. This work is incredibly important. So this Impact Fund allowed us to begin this litigation and helped us to access additional funds as it went on.
And I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of the Lawyers for Civil Rights in Boston. Lowell was a city that was about half white, half non-white citizens. And yet, not a single member of elected government was other than white. That sort of a system has a tendency to allow a white majority or any majority to essentially overrun and box out groups that are not part of that majority group. So the Lawyers for Civil Rights sued in 2017 under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, and we can now see the results of that change in a very remarkable way. The Boston Globe, their headline said, "A changing of the guard in Lowell as a diverse leadership takes office." The Lawyers for Civil Rights and their lawsuit were widely credited with this result.
So friends, I thank you for your generosity. You're incredible. I have style and swagger. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to put that on my resume and turn it back over to Jason and Dena.
So it's my privilege and my pleasure now to introduce Zachary Norris.
But I want to encourage us, because the work that you have heard about is incredible, and I want to challenge us to do more still. And so I want to challenge us to understand that if we are going to get to safety, we are going to have to take some calculated risks. Some calculated risks. Because safety is not the absence of vulnerability. Safety is not manufactured by fear and driven by conformity. Safety is actually the ability to be vulnerable. But I believe that I am in a space of good people and that we are building beloved community. You see, CYA, the California Youth Authority, was rife with violence. And unsurprisingly, 3 out of 4 young people were being rearrested within just a year of their release. The reality was that what was happening inside of our state-run youth prisons was torture. Families said, we want to shut these youth prisons down. And that was a huge deal. This was not bipartisan criminal justice reform era. This was not any of that. This was a different time around the turn of the century. And so we went to the Capitol in Sacramento, a handful of us, and legislators literally tried to laugh us out of their offices. And even though other legislators said, you'll never close a single youth prison, in many ways they were correct. Because through our campaign, we didn't close a single youth prison. We closed 5 of 8 youth prisons across the state of California. And what I need you to know about that victory is that it wasn't just a victory for human rights and human dignity. It was also a victory for public safety, because as we were closing youth prisons, youth crime continued to decline during that same period. Tonight we celebrate. I want to thank you for your work. I want to thank you for your courage, because the courage we need is already in us. And the spirit of folks like Alan Feaster and Ella Baker is with us tonight. So let's keep taking risks. Let's keep being courageous. Let's keep building beloved community. Let's create a world where each and every one of us knows that they are a part of a human family. Thank you.
The work doesn't stop here. Everyone in this room is going to continue to do the fight, and that quest for economic and environmental, racial, social justice will continue. I think what's important for us in this room to do is to spread the word to those who are not here, who need to hear this message, to need to understand that there are people, like-minded people, good people doing great work in a room that is worthy of celebration, and that the fight will continue.